Hello and welcome to Elizabeth's Craft Room. Today I am going to share with you an unashamed case from one of my downline, the lovely Leigh-Anne. And if you haven't, I want you to go and have a look at her blog, which is called Leigh-Anne's Lovingly Crafted Leigh-Anne's Lovingly Crafted Creations, which is .blogspot.com. And have a little look at what she's done. But I am going to show you one of her sort of designs, or an idea or based on one of her designs, which is how to do a postcard with the postcard stamp. I've been putting these on cards. You might have seen one of my videos on that, but she's actually turned them into postcards, and I just thought, well, it's so obvious, but I hadn't thought of it. So I've got a measurement on here, and this is the measurement that I like to use for this postcard because it makes it nice and easy to line up, and that's 5 1/4 by 3 3/4. So I'm just cutting a piece of that of Very Vanilla. So that is 5 1/4 by 3 3/4. And I'm going to do a couple while I'm here. And that is going to make the perfect postcard size. So I'm going to start with that, and I'm going to start with stamping with that postcard. Now, if you haven't seen this before, I will tell you my advice on using this stamp. It's very difficult to ink this up with ink pads without getting the middle piece inky. So what I suggest is use a marker. I really like using a marker for this. It gives you a lot more control, and that's a really old style marker. Let me get a more modern one. That's what we're used to seeing. There's the tip there that we're using. I don't know where that one's come from. And I'm just going to make sure I run that over all the pieces. Now, if you do miss a bit when you're doing this, if you're using this technique, don't worry, because this is a kind of a shabby chic kind of technique. So if you've missed a little bit, that's just an embellishment opportunity for you. Okay, so covered all that with ink. I'm going to give that a quick huff. And I'm going to line that up with my postcard, and I can just see the border all the way around the edge, and press that down, and make sure I press all around those edges and down the middle where the line is. And there we get our postcard. So what Leigh-Anne did is she flipped it over and put some designer paper on the back. So I'm just going to keep this really simple and put on a little bit of cardstock and a little bit of designer paper. So the designer paper I'm using is going to be the same one that she used, which is this one here, which is called Etc. It's just so gorgeous. And I'm going to pick out a little bit of the Night of Navy, which was the colour of ink that I was using there. And I'm going to cut myself a little panel. So because we used 5 1/4 by 3 3/4, I'm going to cut this first of all at 5 by 3 1/2. So I'm just taking 1/4 inch off the measurements that we used before. And then I'm going to put my piece of designer paper on the top of that, and I'm going to go 1/4 less again. How cute is that? And honestly, it doesn't need anything else. It's so lovely. You can do, if you have a look on Leigh-Anne's blog, she's done all sorts of additional prettiness and some quite clever cutting of the designer paper. So I would definitely advise you to go and have a look and see some of the things that you can do. All I'm doing is a little bit of daubing on there. Now I'm going to do a little bit more stamping on the other side, and I am going to use the Gorgeous Grunge because, well, it would be rude not to, really. I'm going to use Calypso Coral. I'll just take a little bit of scrap paper here and just do a little of that. I'm going to take the little splots, and I think that is actually, it is actually Old Olive on there, but I'm going to go for Pear Pizzazz because it's just a slightly lighter shade. And then on this side I'm going to stamp off with the Pear Pizzazz and just go like that. So just a little bit of extra stamping on there. Right, okay. So a little bit of Tombow on the back of there. I love this Art Deco-y bit. That's the bit I was looking for on that designer paper, and I was cutting and not concentrating. And then that is going to go on. Now this is going to give a really nice substantial postcard that you could certainly put through the post, because you've got a double layer of cardstock on there plus the designer paper, so you've got it's nice and strong, so you could actually post that. And then over on the other side you're ready to write and put your address on. I just love that project, so I'm saying thank you again to Leigh-Anne for the inspiration. I hope you've enjoyed it, and come back to Elizabeth's Craft Room soon.